Will you be my friend? Just kidding. Sounds kind of creepy, right? But in this episode, I want to talk about friendships in the Philippines. Let's go. So one of the big deals about moving to another country like I have here in the Philippines is that all of your friends, all of your family, you leave everybody behind. And I've never been the kind of person that has ever wanted a million friends. I'm more the kind of personality that just wants one or two or three or maybe a handful of awesome friends that are just always there and that are just, I can always trust and rely on them. But trying to get even one good friend in the Philippines is a little bit challenging, and that's what I want to talk about in this episode is different types of friendships in the Philippines. So the first type of friendship that I think about here in the Philippines is friendships with Filipinos, people that are from the Philippines, they're not foreigners, they've just lived here their whole life. And I found that that has been extremely challenging. So when I think about who are my friends here in the Philippines, let me think. The thing is that I have a lot of people, especially employees that I work with, that I think of, very fondly and, close. And those are probably the people that I've become closest with in terms of people that I would think of as friends here. But do I have any Filipino friends outside of work? Thinking. Not really. I mean, I do, people that I've met where I lived and things like that, but do I have anybody after almost 3 years of living here in the Philippines that's a local that I would really think of as like a close friend that I could just share anything in my life that I don't know from work? Still thinking, nobody. So it's really hard, I would say, in the Philippines, if you're a foreigner, to connect with people here that are from the Philippines. And I don't know why that is. I think that sometimes there's cultural barriers. I think also sometimes there's something with, not all Filipinos, but a lot of Filipinos where they think maybe more highly of foreigners than we deserve. We're just normal people with good parts and bad parts like anybody else. But I often will find that people are kind of shy to talk to me. And that is a bummer because I love people and I would really love to have more Filipino friends here, but friendships with locals here, I think is just one of those things that will take a bit more time. Second type of friendship I think of here in the Philippines is with other expats, other foreigners, those who weren't born in the Philippines. And if I think about foreigner friends that I have here, I can think of one person, my good buddy Roland. We're business partners with part of what I do here, and we share an office, we live at the same place, we are, doing a joint business venture together that's doing well, we go on vacations together. He's really someone that I would think of as someone is a very close friend, not originally from the US, originally from Europe, but lived in the US as well, and we're just people that I would think of it like a normal, close friendship. But when I think about how many foreigner friends do I have here, I really have to think of people like my friend Mark and Dumaguete, or Bob and Dumaguete, different people that I've met that are in other parts of the Philippines that I don't see from day to day, but I definitely just think are amazing people and definitely consider them friends. But after all this time, I probably only have one person over here that I would say is a really close foreigner friend that I see pretty much every day. So if you're a foreigner living in the Philippines, I think that friendships are a little bit tricky here. Why don't I have more foreigner friendships? I think it's because a lot of the guys that come over here are, just at a different stage in their life. Maybe they're already retired. Maybe they're just looking to date 1,000 pretty Filipinas. We're just in different spots in our life where what we do from day to day is just super different. I'm still a working guy here. I'm a married dude over here. And so what my life looks like here is a lot different than you know, a single retired expat living in the Philippines, which really seems to be a lot of what the Philippines attracts. So if you are a foreigner thinking about living here in the Philippines, you know, I think your experience might be different. If you're retired and you move somewhere like Dumaguete, where there's a lot of other retired expats hanging out, having coffee every morning, you'll probably have a bit more success than me. But if you're someone here working or someone that is not single, you might find that it takes a little bit more work to find some friendships over here. So, are you a fellow foreigner living here in the Philippines? I'd love to hear your experience and your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, guys, really appreciate you watching, and take care.